Hello everyone, my name is Dafton, and in this video we are going to set up Unity and FMDL Studio to work on MGSV files. This video is not about downloading Unity nor installing it. You can get Unity from its website, Store Unity. You should use the personal one, which is free. So it will have installing instructions. So once you have it set up, come back here and we will continue with FMDL Studio. So once we have it, there is a GitHub page by Bob for FMDL Studio 2. So in this video I will help you walk through this. So let's take it together. So welcome to FMDL Studio 2. What is FMDL Studio 2? FMDL Studio 2 is a Unity-based FoxNG model importer and exporter. It allows you to create custom models in the FMDL format. And as you can see, it works for Grand Zeros and Phantom Pain, and also for Survive. Okay, from this list we are going to need the setting up FMDL Studio. So before we start, Bob warns us that we will need to have all the files unpacked and all the textures unpacked so Unity can work with them. Unity only accepts the DDS format. From the previous video, we already made the textures compatible with FMDL Studio. So when we have to set up the texture folder, the convert textures folder will be our texture folder for FMDL Studio 2. Okay, running FMDL Studio 2. So we need to download FMDL Studio package first. And here it's already downloaded, but before we do anything with it, we need to launch Unity. So I'm going to set up FMDL Studio from scratch here. Going to make a new project. New project 6. It should be, let's call it mod tutorial. And create the project. Okay. Yeah, we are not going to skip these steps because you can end up using a previous version of Unity, and I don't want to force you to download or update. So we are going to do it all the way. As you can see, it needs some time to set up, so we are going to sit here, wait it out. Meanwhile, I will tell you that you will find the GitHub page in the description. Okay, Unity is working, and there it is. Here is Unity. Okay, let's see what Bob has in store for us. Okay, so he says that we should click on Edit, Project Settings and Player. So I accidentally launched 3ds Max. This should not cause any harm for us. I will close it. Okay, so here is Unity. We will go through the UI as we need to use it. But first things first, let's go to Edit. And here was project setting, I believe. Let's double check. Project setting player, yeah. Alright, cool. So this is step 4. Step 5, on the right hand side, configuration, script runtime version, net 4.6 or equivalent. Okay. So net 3.5 we needed 4.x or equivalent. Okay. This will restart Unity for us. When the project opens back up, click Asset, Import Package, Custom Package. This is where FMDL Studio will come into play. Okay, it's up. 3ds Max is also up. We can close it now. Not needed yet. Okay, so Asset, Import Package, Custom Package. Here it is, FMDL Studio 2. So this will take some time to set up. And then we will be done with importing FMDL Studio. Then we will set up the texture folder. Yeah, we import all. And then I will try to explain as much as I can about the UI. Mostly about things that I'm using and we are going to use later down. So FMDL Studio can do a lot more than what I'm using it for, but this should be enough for right now. So there will be other videos on FMDL Studio too. And of course you can always check the wiki, always check Discord or GitHub. This is going to take us some time, as you can see. So we will eventually go through these too, as those are really important. Currently it is setting up the shader files. Okay, while it's doing it, I can show a few things about the UI. So on the right hand side we will have the materials tab that we are going to use. It will be about here in the lower right corner. Here is the project files. This is where we are going to put our model files and textures, and this is also the place where we can set up custom texture paths later on. And on the left hand side there will be information containing our models. So when we import a model, there will be its skeletons, meshes, basically everything that is in here in the scene. These are the tools we have. So we have grabbing, we have moving, rotating, scaling. What we are going to use mostly is moving and rotating. And also we can always adjust the perspective. So we can go 2D, 3D, and move on the X, Y, Z planes. Okay, we are going to see this through. I will provide a timestamp when it's over, and until that I'm going to mute my mic. Alright, FMDL Studio is seemingly completely set up. Yeah, we only need to add the texture folder. So you go to FMDL Studio, set texture folder, and go to where are the mass converted textures are, and select it. So not just like this, you open it until it's assets, and then select. Alright, let's import a model. So FMDL Studio, import FMDL. We can find FMDL files in our unpacked files directory. File monoliths, file unpacker, or archive unpacker, is kind enough for us to crack open the FPK files too. So we don't have to crack open those. It will give us all the FMDLs. Okay, let's find an actor. For example, let's load up cars. Scene from cars. So let's see what cars 0 main FMDL looks like. So cars 0 model looks like. Oh, he's here. He looks like this. There he is. You might notice that his coat is white. So that can be attributed to two things. One is that the coat itself is an alpha texture. So it can be whatever color is applied to it. Or because, and we will see if that's the case, or because the mass texture converter and archive unpacker found a file that is not yet deciphered. So let's select something that uses this code. Here's the code material, and here is the mesh. No, it is actually white in Unity. So here's a secret about cause. His code is actually white. Okay, let's back to the UI. So here will be your loaded models. any of it. So FMDLs, FBXs, all the things you will work with. Here is the assets. Here is anything you basically import to Unity will also be stored here in the project folder. And if we are going to open him, then on the right hand side we will see a handful of options. So if we click on the FMDL file itself, what is going to be in our interest is Fox model script. This is something that that all the models who are in the game use. So this is something that we will have to set up each time we do a custom model. We can do it by clicking on Add Component, FMDL Studio, and Fox Model Component. Or we can just move Fox Model components from one model to another by simply the means of drag and drop. Drag and drop is something that is insanely useful in FMDL Studio, because that way we can not only import Fox Model components, but if we come down here, we can import materials too. Now, a thing about materials is that think of them as containers containing the texture files which are used by the mesh. So to try to explain it, okay, so mesh root 0 is leg, and we can see the color brown, the color green here. And if you look at this tile, it's a texture file here. You can recognize the colors, but there are also the other layers of the texture. Each is responsible for something else. So for custom texture paths, we will modify the textures inside the materials, but that's a topic for another video. I'm just going to give you a rundown here of the UI. Okay. So down here, I said everything appears here that we import. So let's import something. So right click here, import new asset. We can import the FMDLs here, but I'm going to import something else here. Let's see, an already converted FBX. This is again just for the UI. So anything you see here is not how the procedure goes. It's just I just want to show you that how to add things to your project. So let's say that we want to add what should we, Ishmael. Yeah, here is Ishmael, converted to FBX, so he will not have any textures, and we can see him appear here. So let's compare an FBX to an FMDL. Aside from him appearing completely white, so devoid of any textures, he also has no real materials, nor a Fox model component. This is all something that you will have to give to the model as you build it. Okay, for the tools. So let's delete Ishmael for now. You can see Ishmael is still here, so in the asset folder he's still here. Okay, for the tools, let's pick cars. Let's say I want Kaz's hand, I mean the one intact, so his left hand, to move a little. So I go to his skeleton, root is the skeleton, I select his waist, then go to his spine, and from the spine to the chest, and the chest is connected to his left hand side. Okay, so I talked about these before. If we select rotating, we can rotate the bone or the mesh, that depends on what is selected. So as you can see, it's moving. Don't worry about it freaking out. It is freaking out because we are only moving one bone. So instead of dynamic movement, it's just one bone moving. Note that any rotation you make, you should always undo. Otherwise you will not be able to save the model, then export it, nor generate the bounding boxes correctly. Okay, let's see what is here. So importing FMDL was what we used to make cars appear here in our scene. Okay, converting to FBX means that if we select the model and convert it to FBX, it will become just like Ishmael here. And the FBX files we can edit with 3ds Max, for example. So this is the actual model editing part, but we will not dive into it right now. Okay, what else? Exporting FMDL. This is the thing you use when you already had built a model. To export an FMDL, it needs to have bounding boxes, needs to have the tangents fixed, needs to have a Fox model component, and needs to have all the bones and meshes set up correctly. Edit material preset is something that I don't really use. I will make a video about it when I learn more about it. I didn't have to use it yet, but it can lead to some desired results that I'm looking forward to. Okay, that's it. One other thing is you can use the mouse to move around here. So if you click the mouse wheel, it automatically activates the hand tool. By clicking, you are selecting things. By right-clicking, you can change the perspective. And you can also use the arrow keys to move around a bit. You can see in the upper right corner of the scene this cube and these 4 cones. This is basically rotations around these axes. And if you click on the cube itself, it will come to frontal view, like here, or isometric view. So you can see it changing here. I don't know if the video resolution is good enough for that, but you have the sort of 3D scene or the 2D scene. So yeah, that's it. These are the basic controls. These are the basic elements of the UI. Don't be intimidated by it. There is also a console here. You can watch any errors or information that FMDL Studio wants to give you. You generally don't need to visit here unless there is an error. And here is the projects folder. So yeah, you should not have to open anything here aside from an asset /tpp/ whatever for the custom textures. And you should always try to import all the FBXs here so it's easier to work with them. Okay, just for fun, I'm going to do a quick editing. Also, when you move an FBX or an FMDL, same rule applies as with the rotation. So you always need to undo it, otherwise you cannot save it. Okay, but for now we will not gonna save it. I'm just going to show you a quick example of applying Fox model component. I'm just dragging it to Ishmael. Bang, Ishmael now has Fox model component. Not set up correctly, it's absolutely wrong, but this is how easy it is to give a mesh Fox model component. Okay, you can click fix tangents. This not gonna give us visible results now because he has no textures. Okay, what else we can have? Let's try to give some materials from Kaz to Ishmael. So I am looking for a material. Actually, I'm just gonna select Kaz's right cheek. As you can see, the material applied here. It should have Kaz's face. So what I'm going to do is now find Ishmael's face. So this is mesh number 33. Where are you, Ishmael? Where is your face? This is Ishmael's face? No. Okay. Let's just run through it quickly. This might be it, but it would not be visible. So I'm going to also show you how to delete mesh. I'm going to delete the bandages from his head. So just here have the mesh, right click, delete. Yeah, we're gonna break the prefab that we are not gonna carry anymore. These two. Okay, so here is Ishmael's face. And now we will take causes right G and Ishmael space, so from 33 to 19, and you will see the textures apply instantly, because the material themselves contains the textures. And apply to 27 too. We can drag and drop it from here. Bang. So here is the abomination we have created, but this is how easy it is. Okay, I think that's it for this basic overview of what FMDL Studio is about, how it's operating. We will learn a lot more about it as we go on. This is really just an introduction. Okay, and thank you for your attention, and see you next time.